I'm Dave Bearing, Technical Director here at TriStar, and welcome to another Ask the Expert segment. Today our question comes from one of our customers in the marine industry, and this particular customer is involved in rather large boats, ships, if you will. And their question has to do with some applications on board where they have traditionally used bronze. In this particular application, they've been using bronze on some hinges that are obviously being exposed not so much to submerged environments, but to salt spray, salt fog, salt air, which are just as corrosive as being submerged, if not more so. In this case, they've been running against a pin material that was probably poorly selected in the first place, and they've tried to fix it by painting and lubricating, and that doesn't hold up for very long. So their question is, what material could you guys suggest to eliminate this corrosion problem? As we've mentioned in some previous presentations, one of our big applications in the marine industry is as a result of our ABS certification. And some of the areas that we've been very successful at with our UltraComp and our CJ is in places like bow thrusters and rudder pentals, and even on some of the smaller ships and smaller boats, if you will, replacing cutlass bearings. So it kind of all depends on exactly where the environment is as to which material we use, but in this case, because this is a hinge application on a ramp on board the boat, more likely than not, we would use our UltraComp UC300A. This is a material that we found to be very, very successful, especially in dockside equipment. A number of the ferry systems around North America and Europe are using the UC300A material for docking systems where they've got the side gates and the drop-down ramps on both the ferry and also on the dock. This is a perfect place for the UltraComp because it can take extremely high loads, a lot of vibration, a lot of impact. So you can just imagine on a ferry all kinds of problems with boats and buses and or trucks and buses and cars running over these ramps all the time. So the UC300A has worked very, very well there. And the A material has been selected because it has better lubricity and has really done well for us against the soft pin materials. And all this without lubrication. One of the things that you've probably heard me talk about before is that our materials are designed to run without lubrication. And we realize that a lot of the applications, and especially in the marine industry, there's a concern about corrosion. So we understand and we expect that our customers are going to apply some form of lubrication to the pins to help with that corrosion. And we understand that it's going to happen. So what we normally would suggest is if you need to do that, use as light of a grease as you can get away with. The marine industry is less susceptible than you would see, on a piece of construction equipment or ag equipment or something like that, because the dirt and dust is not going to get up into the grease and really turn it into a lapping compound. But nonetheless, we understand the need for corrosion resistance. The one thing that we would suggest that you avoid is anti-seize. And the reason for that is the anti-seize has metals in it. And even though those metals are fairly low percentage of the makeup of the material, they can become pretty abrasive over time by themselves, not including the debris that gets picked up just from air and so forth. So our suggestion would be to go with a light grease, a lithium grease, if you can live with that, or maybe some other type of coating on the pins. Paint's not necessarily a good coating because the paint will wear off over time. The bearing materials are actually a lot tougher than the paint. So it's something that we would like to talk to you about if you have these situations in your marine applications. Corrosion we know is a problem, but the good news is the CJ material and the UltraComp material are very good at transferring the PTFE component of both of those products into the shaft, and that in itself becomes a bit of a corrosion repellent over time. So there are ways to fix the problem. We can help you out with those. So please contact me through Ask the Expert, or contact our engineering department through any of the branches at 1-800-TriStar. Visit our website. We've got a number of shooting stars on marine applications, and they'll give you some ideas of where all we can apply these materials. Hope that's helpful. We look forward to seeing you on another Ask the Expert, and thanks for joining us.